I'm Natalia.
Sure.
I am an area manager for and we have 2 dogs that we love, and yeah, we are a little family, but with plenty of love.
I'm Jeff. I'm an engineer for an oil and gas company up in the Woodlands. That's actually how Natalia and I met, out in the oil field here in Texas, and we love living in the Houston area. So we're moving to be closer to work. We've recently changed companies in the past year, and I work in the Woodlands and she works near the George Bush International Airport. So shorter commute, we're moving to the Woodlands. So we actually never even heard of Harvest Green. We bought a car, and the guy at the dealership that sold us the car told us about Aliana, the house that he has there, and that he likes living in Aliana. So we came and checked out Aliana, and we kind of got lost trying to get back to Houston.
And we found Harvest Green.
We drove by Harvest Green and we're like, what's this place? Let's check it out. And just from, I don't know, the first 15 minutes talking to one of the, model home agents, we knew this is where we wanted to live.
Yeah, we just like the feeling of the neighborhood. It's very nice, and we were like, when we heard that it had its own farm and that it was gonna have, because at the moment when we bought the house, when we decided to live here, it didn't have a dog park yet, but it was in the plans. So I was like, okay, we need to live there. It will be amazing to live in a place that it has its own dog park. So for me, it was the dog park that kind of made it.
Yeah.
We made our minds based on that.
You want me to talk on that?
Yeah.
So we chose to build a new home here in Harvest Green for a couple of reasons. We wanted a quiet neighborhood, and we like the location of Harvest Green. Distant enough from major highways where you're not hearing all this highway traffic. We also wanted a neighborhood that wasn't the stereotypical suburban neighborhood where every house looks the same and it looks very, lacking in sort of, I don't know how you'd say it, lacking in character, exactly.
Yeah. We love the farm. The farm that is inside the neighborhood,
sure.
It's pretty cool. At the beginning when we moved in, we had a farm, like a membership, where you could go to the farm and you have your own lot.
Oh.
Your own lot or plot? How is it?
So there's a, Harvest Green is an agri-hood. I think it's one of the few in the country, and there's actually a farm in the neighborhood where it's really like a community where you can pay a small membership fee, and you get a 18 by 20 foot farm plot where you can, they give you the seeds. They have farmers that educate you, and you can grow your own vegetables.
Oh, that's
and
cool.
It's one of the coolest parts of this community.
Yeah. Yeah, we were looking for a floor plan that was very open because we wanted to entertain our friends. And something where we didn't feel claustrophobic. For us, it was the more open space, the better. For me, the open space. I like the house because it has a lot of open space and the location of it. We have a big yard and we're in a cul-de-sac. And it's very quiet, it's very nice. It's just how it feels very open, which I love. And I love that it has a walk-in closet that is huge.
Yeah.
I love that because it's very convenient for me.
Sure.
Our walk-in closet is bigger than most bedrooms I had, like when I was a bachelor.
Right.
Christmas. For us, our favorite memory was Christmas.
Yeah, definitely Christmas time. The neighborhood, the HOA puts up nice Christmas decorations, and the whole community really gets into it. Lights, and you can put a nice big Christmas tree in here, and We would have, Christmas Eve dinners, invite friends over, and, set off some fireworks in the cul-de-sac. And
And we also had one time, the neighbors around us are very nice, and we had one time a crawfish boil with all the section, and it was very fun because we got to meet all the neighbors. Yeah. And we are very lucky that the neighbors around us are very nice people. They are.
Yeah, it's a great community.
That we have goats. It surprised me that there are goats in the farm.
That's awesome. Where's that?
Yeah, so the village farm, it's at the front of the neighborhood, kind of behind the model homes, and they have chickens, they have goats.
Yeah, and also watching the sunsets here is pretty cool from our garden. When you turn on the fountain, and you have all these nice sunsets surrounded by the trees, and it's just very pretty. It's beautiful.
Yeah, one of the things that we like best about this neighborhood, it is quiet. I've lived in parts of Houston where you're close enough to the highway where it sounds like there's a drag race going on. And here, I never hear traffic from the highway or any major roads. Yeah. So there's never any issue with, some noises keeping you up at night. No neighbors leave their barking dog outside all night. Everyone here is very respectful of neighbor etiquette. Also, the way our home is positioned is really nice because our master bathroom faces to the east, so we get a nice sunrise as we're getting ready for work. Yeah. And the sun sets on the opposite side of the house, so we don't have the sunlight from the sunset beating through a window.
Yeah, and when I put my makeup on, it's very convenient to have the sunrise there because it's all the natural light coming into the bathroom. Mm-hmm. We chose to build with Highland homes because they are very reputable, and they had really good reviews about how to build it, about the quality of building the house. Can you say it better than me?
Yeah, so some of the other builders that are even building here in Harvest Green, we've heard some, some negative reviews, pretty negative reviews. And when you're investing as much as you are in your home, you really want that high level of confidence that what you're getting built is not going to have any issues. We also like that Highland is a family-owned company. They're not pressured for short-term profits by, public shareholders. So we were we had the highest level of confidence with Highland that it was going to be built to perfection. And
since we moved in, there hasn't been any type of issues with the house. We have
so there's central dehumidifier, which a lot of the builders don't put, and I think when you're living in a place like Houston, that's really critical to have a central dehumidifier system. We've seen posts on Facebook from neighbors in Harvest Green that went with other builders that had mold in their attics and behind their walls, and part of it was lacking that dehumidifier system.
Yeah.
Green's located pretty well, I think. If you're, if you work in the Richmond Sugarland area, it's also pretty close to the West Park Tollway, so getting, Energy Corridor, City Center. Even if you're, working in the Galleria area, it's really not too bad of a commute. If you're on the western, the west, southwest, or southern part of the Houston area, it's just really commuting's not bad.
Yeah. I don't like driving too much, so.
It's just the Woodlands was a little bit too far.
Yeah.
Actually, really, if you really want to know how much we love this house and loved, living here in Harvest Green, we wanted to stay here, even though we're commuting over 4 hours a day. But when we came to the realization that once the COVID thing is gone, the traffic is just going to be too bad.
Yeah.
But we really wanted to stay here. We've been doing the Woodlands commute since July, and it's the only reason we're leaving.
Well, this is a very nice neighborhood. The location of the house is very nice, and we have great neighbors. I think what makes this house special and this community is the people around us. We even have a Facebook group for all the neighbors from Harvest Green, and it's very cool to see how all the community comes around together when somebody is in need. And I will say, go and meet the neighbors, because they're very, very nice people. And go and enjoy the sunset and sunrise out in the porch or in the garden. You will have a great time there. It's a very beautiful setting, and the nature gives you so much that you should enjoy it.
Yeah, I mean, we're really going to miss living here. Once COVID kind of, goes away. This neighborhood does a lot of great events for the community, cooking classes, story time for the kids. There's food truck Saturdays. There's food truck Fridays. Throughout the year, where local food trucks from the area come, and the community gets involved. There's Harvest Fest, there's Chef Fest.
Yeah.
There's the dog park that you can bring your dogs to.
And maybe you can play tennis, because the tennis court is just right around there. That was one of the things that I was like, I'm going to start playing tennis. I never did, but but I had the intention to do it.
It's great for people that live an active lifestyle, the trails, the tennis courts, the volleyball pit, the dog park.
Yeah, one of the things that drown us the most, because we have pets, is the dog park, definitely. Because it's right here. You can go walk into it. You can walk, take your dog, and walk back. And it's a great place to be, really. Mm-hmm. And we will miss it.